Shout out to Achi, DJ J-Ronin, the DJ J-Ronin podcast, and the All Elements Mix Show.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? It's the J-Ronin Podcast and also the All Elements Mix Show on Delicious Vinyl Radio on the Dash Radio app. And I have with you tonight, very dope DJ, my fellow tribesman, looking like a straight weirdo because, you know, he's wacky like that. He's wacky, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up one time for Herbert Holler, y'all. And you may be familiar with him for DJing at many, many clubs, over 800 events, according to his bio. All over.
More than that.
Back when that bio was written. Probably more than that by now. And of course, you're very well known for the Freedom Party, which I was going to long before I knew you and had great times at. One of the best hip hop parties in New York City, probably the longest running dance party. Yeah, what's all that? Like, keep going. You know, the vibes are crazy. The last one I went to was outside on the pier in the summertime. It was amazing. Everyone was dancing and singing along. And unlike my events where people act tough, just, yeah, I like that record. That's dope. People actually dancing and singing along and having fun, you know? It's a beautiful thing. Now, I DJ a lot of hardcore hip hop events where people are just trying to act too tough, and just seeing people, you know, and love it and enjoy the music. And you have some real supporters, Popeye, the Sailor Man. Well, blow me down. I got the Popeye forearms. Oh, man. But yeah, he's not Popeye. He's DJ Herbert Holler, ladies and gentlemen. And welcome to the J-Ronin Podcast.
Just Herbert Holler. No DJ.
No DJ?
Just Herbert Holler.
Just Herbert Holler. No DJ. I'm sorry. But yeah, man, you know, we've gotten pretty damn cool over this COVID nightmare. You know, shout out to John Moskowitz for linking us up. I always knew who you were. For some reason, I was confused and thought you were part of the Rub. I don't know why.
I look like Joe 11 a little bit, but no, he wouldn't like to hear that. So shout out to DJ 11.
But you did DJ at Southport at least once or twice, right? In Parks. I think I was there.
Once.
That's why I thought that. I don't know.
Okay, I was in the basement.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
Like, who's this guy? He's pretty good. All right. But yeah, man, Freedom Party is always amazing. I remember going to the Freedom Party with Ebro from Hot 97 and DJ Snips. What's that clipping?
Okay.
I don't know.
Huh?
I heard a weird sound.
Stop knocking on the door. I'm in an interview.
Yeah, God damn it. Family. Infant life family, man. I don't have any kids yet. You know, I'm not blessed. So I'm working on it. And the fun is working on it, right? But anyway, you know, you've been doing your thing for quite a while. Tell me about how you first got into the business. Matter of fact, before even that, tell me where you're from originally. I
am from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Well, I was born in Atlantic City Hospital and spent a lot of time there, but I was actually raised in a town 10 minutes from the first casino. It's called Margate, New Jersey. It's home to Lucy the elephant, which is this big elephant that the French made. For some reason, it's in Margate. But I was, you know, went to high school, Atlantic City High School. I went born in Atlantic City Hospital, like I said. My father was food and beverage director at Resorts Casino Hotel. So I went often there and saw a lot of great stuff. So I'm from that area, the Jersey Shore.
South Jersey, Jersey Shore, Atlantic City.
Yep.
Sure. Did you fist pump in the club?
See, we were, my town is not commercial, so there weren't any real dance clubs like that. It's
Right.
more of like a private sort of town. You need beach badges, to get on the beach and stuff like that. So we never did any of that, but
Badges.
yeah. but I did watch every episode of the Jersey Shore and I loved every bit of it.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah. That was when I had my first child and it was a release. It was yeah.
And how about Boardwalk Empire?
I did not watch that, but my uncle was in it.
What?
Yeah, my uncle was in one of the early
area, and you didn't watch it? What?
I think my uncle was in the synagogue scene in the beginning where he's like turns around, he says, "You got to put your yarmulke on." He might have said that to, I forget who he said that to. You have to wear a kippah or something like that. So there's yeah.
How did you not watch this amazing show?
Because I don't know, I think that the same reason I never watched Seinfeld. It's just certain things miss me for some reason. It's not that I choose not to.
Go
I just
back
don't.
and watch it. I'm going to go back and watch it.
I'm going to. There's a long legacy of Jewish people in the Atlantic City area. It's very. Yeah. My cousin from Atlantic City invented Lactaid. So
shout out to him because I'm lactose intolerant.
Yeah, yeah. There's a
shout out to Michael K. Williams, by the way. Rest in peace to him. He was
that the
Chalky White? The guy with the scar. He was
I know
from The Wire.
I DJ'd his birthday party in Sundance where he insisted that I play Brooklyn Zoo and he rapped every word. It was kind of like karaoke. So it was pretty amazing.
He was a real hip hop head. He's actually Sean Price's cousin.
Right. I didn't know that. He's also a house head too. He was a house head.
Yeah, he was a dancer and he was from Farragut Projects and Flatbush.
Yeah.
He used to come to a lot of my hip hop events and support. He loved he came out, I think, for Capadonna, for Brand Nubian. Real head, good dude, man.
Yeah. I think that was the guy my uncle turns to and says, "You have to wear your yarmulke." So anyway, any event. So that's where I'm from. I'm from Atlantic City, and And what was the next question?
And what was it like being working for Liberace back then?
I didn't work for him. I saw him.
Yeah, I know. I'm joking.
When I was a kid, my dad would bring me to the shows, and I saw I remember Liberace sitting it was a big room.
Right.
I think it was the restaurant was called the Camelot, and it was a big room. He was at all the way at one end, but his coat would sparkle across the floor. He was a very
flamboyant.
Yeah, to say the least. That was very cool.
He puts the flamboyant in flamboyant.
Right.
Remember that.
Puts the flam in flamboyant.
Okay.
Yeah.
For those not familiar, look up Liberace for you young folks.
Yeah. How do you not know who Liberace is? Even if you're young. It's like
who? I mean,
Liberace. He's sort of like an Elton John type of guy, but more like schmaltzy. And
you would be so shocked what these kids today know and don't know. Some kids know everything. Like, how do you know that? You know about everything. Right. And then I have kids who are around me. Wait a minute, Common and Ice Cube can rap? I thought they were only actors.
Yeah.
So you never know.
Right.
So how did you fall in love with music, though?
Well, it was that. It was my mother. I had a problem sleeping when I was a kid, so my dad used to put me over his shoulder and put on music at the bar in the house, and would just dance around until I fell asleep. And my mother would sing to me, and then my parents just introduced me to different music. First record that I think I got was a Hair record from the Broadway musical.
Okay.
And then it was a Beatles record.
Had Ricky Lake in the movie?
I don't know. Maybe.
That's Hairspray. Never mind.
There was the Soul Aquarians did, I think, a song called, not the Soul Aquarians, Dawning of Fifth Dimension did Age of Aquarius.
Right.
The age of, I have that record.
Shout out to my wife. She's Aquarius. Hi, Oni. I love you. In the other room.
Hi, Oni. And then I got the Beatles records, a Beach Boys record, and then it just, from there it just, pop music, and then I think Sugar Hill Gang, when they first came out, everybody was trying to rap what they were saying.
First came out in 1979.
Yes.
I wasn't born
I
yet.
was born in 76. So in 79, my brother and I were walking around we were just mouthing, we were like, hibby, hibby, blah, blah, blah. We didn't know what the hell we were saying, but
yeah,
just always into music, heavy into music. And then, we could fast forward to when I got to the city, when I came to school. I originally came to NYU, to New York for NYU. I was pre-med, early decision. I had a scholarship and everything because we couldn't really afford at the time. I mean, at the time it was $30,000 a year, and now it's like 60 or 70. I don't know how people do it, but.
So you left med school with a scholarship to be a DJ?
I had academic scholarships to attend.
Your
I know
parents-
my mother almost had a heart attack. She was like, "Oh my God."
my family go, "Oh, you're gonna be a doctor or a lawyer?"
Exactly. You already know the way
That's how Jewish parents are.
Jewish mommies want. Yeah. So when I got to the city, I went out like as soon as I could. I went out like people were like, "Don't go to Alphabet City," and that's exactly where I went. And I went to this place
That was
called
my hangout spot.
Yeah, I went to this place called New Yorican Poets Cafe. It was the first place I went to, and it was a party called All That, open mic hip hop words and poetry by Rocky LaMontagne.
He still does
And he still does it somewhere. I think in like White Plains or something. I don't know if he still does it there
anymore.
Maybe, I'm not sure, but
Okay.
I went in and there was live jazz musicians just vibing and jamming with hip hop MCs, and one of the crews was the New Jerus. And I don't remember where they were from, either Brooklyn or Lower East Side, the New Jerus, but they were so dope. And there's like live jazz, and I'm just a kid from
New
like
Jersey.
Maybe they are. New
Jeru.
Yeah, right. You're right. My bad. And I'm just a kid from the Jersey Shore, and I walk in there, I'm like, and it was just amazing. And that was the night that I met Mums too, and that was a funny story too. I was sitting there, and there's some dude walks in. I just got to the city, and some dude walks in, definitely had this homeless vibe, like beat up trench coat and beat up shoes that weren't tied, and hair all unkempt, and long fuzzy beard with shit in it. And I was like, who? And comes in, he sits right next to him, like, of course. Like I'm not trying to be a dick, but like it's a little, when you first get to the city, you're like, okay, cool. And then they call up Mums, and this dude gets up and goes to do like a 20-verse poem about a mosquito. And it was the dopest thing I've ever heard. And he comes and sits back down. I'm like, like, holy shit. I felt guilty for judging, judging the shit, but that was part of the experience. And from there, I was like, okay, I'm not pre-med anymore. It's not happening. I'm not going to sit in the library and study. I got to be a part of this world. So I just went into a liberal arts sort of curriculum, and I just kept going out, started working for Giant Step Records, handing out flyers on Astor Place by the Cube or at Astor Cuts, where they were pushing mixtapes with the haircuts. I was just handing out flyers to everyone, and loved Giant Step. It was acid jazz and classics and hip hop all in one place, and so many different kinds of people from all over the world every Thursday. And it was just so dope. From there, I just started working for more parties and more promoters and some record labels too. I think the first record label job I had was Mercury Records, working for Sue Marcus.
Okay.
I think it was her on the Ronnie Size project and Cardigans. And then Island Def Jam bought out Mercury Records, and I stayed aboard for that and worked for them. And then I remember, I don't know if I'm getting my years mixed up, but then I remember getting my hands on this hip hop collection called Sound Bombing Volume 1.
Right. Classic.
And I was at 35 Washington Place, which was a fraternity house, right? I was on the top floor. Every fraternity had a whole floor, and we had huge kegger parties. And I was the DJ, but I didn't consider it DJing at the time, because I was just playing music because I had the best CDs in the house. I had all the hip hop, R&B, and reggae CDs. So I was just really pushing play on one CD and just.
I was definitely doing that early on.
Yeah. And so I got my hands on this CD, and I just was like, And this was just at the time the Jiggy era was exploding, right? And I didn't feel anything for the Jiggy era. Like I didn't like it. I mean, eventually I fell in love with it. It took a long time, but I don't like when it's about the clothes and about the this and about the champagne. I just felt like that's not who I am. Like I'm not that flashy and flossy, and I respected it, but it wasn't my thing. And then the Sound Volume 1, I got my hands on, I was like, oh my God, this is the answer. Because what's this Sean J. Period's Universal, whatever the name of that song was that Most Def did, it's escaping my mind. I just heard that and I was like, this is exactly what I want in my hip hop. Just beats and rhymes.
He judged several of my beat battles, master routines. Great guy, producer, and just
Sometimes I get him confused with J. Period, who's also a great guy and a great DJ and a great
Well, Sean's more known as a producer.
Right.
And he's definitely heavy into that beat battle world.
Yeah, Sean is, I mean, that record to me was just absolute perfection. That was hip hop. Yeah. Just sounded like you were banging on your desk in math class, like we used to do in Atlantic City High School. I tried, it was embarrassing, but I was rapping with one of the guys in my school got into the Digital Underground crew. And he was in the song No Nose Job, the young kid coming up the stairs. Yo, really? Humpty, now that your records is selling, ain't it time for you to be, or something like that.
Right.
That was he went to my school, and there was this other kid, Mikey D, who was in my school. And I remember I was rapping. They called me K Love because my real name's Kenny. So I still know what?
I did not know that.
I
Herbert. I swear to God, not a Holler.
No, Kenny. So I still remember the rhymes, but I used to bang in algebra class. So there were gangs in Atlantic City High School that were junior versions of the Atlantic City gang. So the Junior Abduls, the Junior Muhammads, the Bomb Squad. And I was friendly with some of the Bomb Squad, and we used to sit in algebra class, and I would just bang on the desk and they would freestyle. And so that's what this song reminded me of, like the essence. It was just beats and rhymes and none of the other fluff and dander and all that pomp and circumstance and shit. I just never liked that. And I remember I heard this CD, and Evil D hosted. He was like saying all kinds of stuff. It was great. And I'm like, I looked in the back to find who the record label was, because I'm like, I want to work for these people. And it was literally a block away from me, next to Tower Records, or right on that same spot, strip, right next to Bayamos, the Chino Latino spot, Bayamos, where for $3 you can get rice and beans like this big with a big roll. So I just no, they're not. Sadly, but I put on my shoes and just went right down there, and I gave him my resume or whatever it was, and said, I want to work for you guys. And I started working for Raucous.
Look at the cat.
And you need Allegra.
I got it.
Okay. So I went to Raucous. Anyway, long story short, I gave my resume. They hired me. I worked for Marina Oak doing marketing, bounce back cards for like Talib Kweli and Most Def for Black Star and Ultramagnetic, the thing that not Ultramagnetic, Cool Key stuff, Pharaoh Munch stuff, R.A. the Rugged Man stuff, Reflections Eternal, a High Tech, and then I just, while I was there, I didn't like the environment at all. It was just kind of dog eat dog, everyone trying to be mad cool. There used to be this white Jewish dude that worked there that would like, I think his leg was busted or he had a mean lip. He used to walk around like, and I would just see him walking by. Like I was having my lunch and he was like looking at me like, who the fuck is this dude? I'm like, what kind of place is this that I'm working at?
I find it's weird. For me personally, you might have this experience as well, maybe not. Mm-hmm. But at a certain point in hip hop, when there wasn't that many white people in the culture, there'd always be the white guy that wanted to be the coolest white guy in the room.
So he was at this. I know who it was.
Wait, let me break it down. And it was like, I called it the Highlander mentality. There could be only one.
There could be only
one. Take everybody's fucking head off. And it's like, and it's just this very crab in the barrel mentality.
Too self-aware. Way too self-aware.
And like, just, bro, it's the 90s. It's the late 90s at this point. Like, you're not the only person of your complexion knows about hip-hop.
Yeah.
Maybe in 82, or okay, MC Search could in 85, he's the only white guy in the club. All right. But this is like 97, like relax.
There was definitely an environment in that office where it was just like some cliquish, like everyone's trying to be the next dope person and get the next dope sponsorship, and LRG was all over the place and Echo was all over the place.
Right. And now you would be dead wearing that stuff.
Well, yeah, I still would wear LRG. I got beef with, but whatever. Anyway, so I checked out. I'm like, I'm not even making that much. It's just pennies on the dollar. Like, why am I going to be here in this crappy environment? So I ended up giving my job to Graham Oliver, my roommate, may he rest in peace, and he became head of marketing, the marketing director there.
Okay.
And I was I started to get like, I was a writer too. So I started getting like writing jobs, doing record reviews and stuff like that, restaurant reviews, all kinds of stuff. And then I worked for Martha Stewart on the media. I was copy editing and doing stuff. I was just trying to pay the bills. All the while on the side, I was promoting parties and doing that. In 2000, I borrowed money to get I bought a turntable at cost from my boys at turntablelab.com. Shout out to Pete Hahn and Anthony. What's up, guys? They sold me one at cost. It was like 500 or something. And I started buying records at King George's record store on the Lower East Side on Essex Street. May he rest in peace. The first record I bought was the Crusaders. Street Life. Yep. The very first piece of vinyl that I bought. Such a great record. And then I was like, one of the jobs I had, I came across this CD, and I still don't remember who the DJ was, but it was a mix CD, and it was so dope. And I was like, I can do this. So I called my mom. I said, Mom, let me borrow some money. She's like, I don't really have it. I said, well, I'll pay you back. I'll start DJing and pay you back. So she said, okay. Got another rec table. And then I started getting gigs. And then I paid her back in a few months. And that was that. I was also doing comedy at the time, but that didn't really pan out to money. It was just more.
I like to see you rock an open mic once in a while, though.
Well, I'm doing stuff with Masavia.
You got a tight 10?
I'm going to do some stuff with Masavia, and we'll have some comedy too, but I don't know. Anyway, that's how I got into it. And then, I started some parties, and I really wanted to do this classic old school thing. And I did a couple iterations of them with some other people, Graham, who I was living with, and Seth Dog from Shameless. Shout out to Seth Dog, or formerly of Shameless, and some other people. And then there was a couple other people that I met, and then we just came up with this concept. And my full-time job was then doing this damn party, this fucking party. And
by this party, you're talking about Freedom Party?
Yes, I am.
So when did Freedom Party start officially?
2003.
2003.
Summer Boat Boogie was this party that happened on
almost.
Yeah.
We're in 2022.
Yes, we are.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a full-time job, man. Anybody that tells you otherwise, you do events, you've had a lot of people, how much goes into that.
Right.
It's like you could end up doing not only a 40-hour week, but a 12-hour day, especially now with all the social media and different places you got to post and this and that and this and that. It's like you got to do 100 different things. Whereas back in the day, you just called up your peoples and you had this crew and you got the flyers and then you just handed them out. You went to parties and you were like, yo, here you go. And then you did a party and 100 people would come and you'd be like, dope, we rocked.
Right. Now, you have your email blast, your Instagram, your Facebook,
ton of shit,
Twitter.
You're spending mad money on marketing.
I still texting people. I still, I do that and make sure I bring out my crowd. And, it's a lot of work, and you do at least 2 events every month, right?
Yep. Philly. Freedom was in Chicago as the second market, but then Chicago died down. So now I have it in Philly and it's in New York. And then I have the rest of my time is marketing these things, marketing myself and doing for hire gigs, just whatever, birthday parties, corporate events, bar mitzvahs, weddings,
right?
Full time with this. Got 3 mouths to feed. So
including yourself?
No, that would be 7, including myself.
I've gone out to eat with this man, and well, I think I eat a lot too, though. I mean,
we put it away.
We definitely had a lot of kebabs over at Nirgis.
That it's never nice when you're going to Nargis Cafe in Coney Island, wherever the Sheep's Head Bay. It's never nice. I mean, just kebabs and skewers of meat and liver and testicles and whatever. It's just what? Rocky Mountain oysters. No, you don't eat testes? All up in your, you don't like nuts on your tonsils? Anyway, so yeah, Nargis, absolutely. But yeah, so I do, yeah.
Right. Yeah, man. So I was reading in your bio, you went to Japan.
I did.
Now, me, I'm into martial arts and Japanese anime and the samurai movies and video games. So I want to go out there eventually and train and karate and jiu-jitsu and video game anime stuff. Like I'm good enough to. I've played some national champions in Street Fighter. That was my thing. I don't really practice anymore, but I'm still, competitive. What was it like going out there?
So the way this worked is that we wanted to go. My wife was pregnant and we were about to have a kid. And we're like, we got to do one big trip before this kid comes, because when this kid comes, we're not going somewhere for quite a while.
So she went to Japan pregnant?
So we decided to go to Japan. And she went to Japan pregnant.
I'm laughing.
And I'm like,
it's a long flight.
I know. But she's tougher. Dude, women are just tougher in general, but her pregnant is tougher than the toughest, dude out there. It's just she's crazy. So I'm like, I'm gonna go out there. I'm definitely gonna DJ. I know there are music heads out there. It's gonna be dope. So at the time, I was working with this manager who connected me with this this concert promoter. But the manager, it was a short-lived management situation. The things didn't really coalesce.
Been there.
I got out there. I was going out there anyway.
Called a bullshitter. I've had a couple of.
Well, I won't say that because he's done. He's def.
Okay.
My bad. Put it this way: someone incredibly successful and famous right now, one of the biggest producers in the world, started with him.
Okay.
So it's perhaps it was like that for me, but it wasn't like that for him overall. Okay. So I went out there and I brought my DJ bag. I was going to DJ whatever, and the gig fell through.
Serato or vinyl?
Serato. So yeah, I wouldn't bring crates. No, hell no. So the gig fell through. And I remember it was one of my first like panic attacks as a dad happened. Like I hadn't slept at all on the flight. I was jet lagged. And my wife was like, let's go here. Let's go there. Let's go to the Tsukiji fish markets. Let's go here. Let's go see this. I'm like, okay. And then I was just like, I'm looking at my wife. She's got this big belly and an alien in there. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I just like broke down and lost it. But anyway, so the gig fell through, but I'm like, there's just no way I'm going to be out here and not DJ. So we went to Kyoto. And Kyoto is, I don't know what you call it. It's within Tokyo or next to Tokyo.
It's its own city.
Okay. So on the Ponte show, there's tons of like lounges and
right.
I saw this one, and somebody online talked about this place BPM, and I walked into BPM, I saw it, and I'm like, I went down the stairs and went in there, and they had like vinyl albums on the wall, and there was like Lionel Richie and Michael Jackson and Biggie and Neo and all this dope stuff, and I was like, oh man, this could be it. So, but the owner of the place didn't speak a lick of English. So I was like, I want to DJ. He's like, huh? I'm like, I showed him my bag. I was like, DJ, me. He goes, okay. I'm like, tonight. And then he had a friend. He got on a friend. And the friend said, come back 2 days from now. We'll have people there. And he wants you to DJ then. I'm like, okay. So I came back 2 days and there was like 100 people there. And like they're wilding out. There was one dude that wore this motorcycle helmet. He was like popping and locking. I'm like, this is the best time ever. It was incredible. And then I met some promoter in Korea and almost made that happen. That would have been dope because I love Korea. I love Korean food and I have Korean friends. So let me just, it's like the white guy version. I love Korea. I have lots of Korean friends and I love bibimbap and bulgogi. So anyway, so it was just it was a dope time. And like, I'll never forget the dude with the Michael Jackson gloves or the racing gloves and the helmet popping and locking, and people were dancing and just watching. And it was really real. And that was it. So that was my Japan.
And the food?
Oh, food was great, but it can be hit or miss there.
Right. Okay.
You know, it depends on where you go. It's never a bad meal, but it could be hit or miss. Whereas like if you like go to Italy, you can go to a gas station and get spaghetti and it's like the best plate of pasta you ever had. You know,
Weird like that.
Yeah. There were a couple gigs in Italy too that were amazing. But I remember like I had to race out and catch a flight. And so there was this like bus stop and I was starving and I ordered this, I don't know, it was like the signature dish of Florence or something, some something or other. And it was bonkers. I'm like, oh my God, I'm at a bus stop.
You ever go to the Body Lecce area?
No, I had a private event in Florence and then a year later, a private event in Venice, and I ate my face off. And those were some amazing experiences.
They had this festival, I think it's coming back, called the Gusto Dopa al Sole Festival. And in that area, it's like further down, not Sicily, but I think it's like in the ankle of area, or the heel of the boot. I don't know. And the Salento region, reggae is bigger than hip hop out there.
Wow.
And they just love dance hall and old school reggae. And
that's what's up. You got to send Max and Gravy out there. The Rice and Peas guys need to go out there.
And we had a dope show. I was out there with Killer Priest.
Nice.
Like 3 or 4 of his songs, I ended up having him do them on reggae rhythms that was around the same BPM. Just to like switch it up for that crowd, and they loved it. And you know,
that's awesome.
It was dope. You know, a lot of reggae artists were there from Jamaica and UK and all that. But yeah, anyway, it's not about me today. It's about you, bro.
It's always about you.
Tell me more about the formation of the Freedom Party and how did it build up to this big, you know, at this point, it's a cultural phenomenon. It's
just hard work. And collaborations. There were a lot of people involved in different times, some more than others.
Right.
Just a lot of frustration, a lot of hard work because most people in the business don't take it seriously. Promoters, DJs, they don't have their shit together.
Right.
I mean, I'm trying to feed my kids on this shit. Right. And you're out fucking around when there's shit that's due, when there's triggers that have to be pulled so things work out.
Promo is real.
So, oh man.
You know, I
not even promo, it's like event production is no joke. Timelines alone will drive trying to coordinate different people is one of the most hair pulling out things you could ever do.
So I you know, obviously.
Well, me too, you know, Mr. Clean.
I mean, and I know how it is to coordinate. For me, you know, I coordinate the photographers, the videographers, the bartender, the security, the artists, the DJs.
Yep.
And
the staffing, it's just like,
and then promoting it on top of that.
Getting everybody synced to do everything the way it's supposed to be.
I have my own bar sometimes. I gotta get the liquor and
that's crazy. I wouldn't add that layer on. That's just too much. But I mean,
it's a lot more money you make off the liquor.
And when you're doing it in an industry with fucking didunts that are like half dead and would really rather just jerk around than work.
Right.
They'd rather just go out, miss meetings and don't show up with this and show up an hour late to your own party on New Year's Eve. Like, just don't give a fuck.
That's the problem with the music business.
Yeah.
A lot of times people don't give a resume. They just music, that's easy. I could do that. Right.
Then
you find out how hard it is.
Right. And then you're not even, and that doesn't even, you know, that doesn't say anything about the type of personalities that the business attracts. You have malignant narcissism, like people who are mentally ill and don't know it. And they have people around them that they've surrounded them to do their bidding and you don't know it. So, you know, it's just really tough. It's a really tough business. I mean, I got to the point where I'm like, you want to do an event together? Cool. Do you do this for a living or is it a part-time? No, it's a hobby. It's part-time. Okay. Not with me. I'm not fucking with you.
I don't really deal with the hobbyists. Like,
nope.
Even on the artist side,
Right.
Like if you don't really do this for like you're trying to be a real
But
artist.
the artists have to have
As a promoter too though, like
right.
I'm not going to do an event with someone that doesn't know how to promote. Like for what?
Right.
Like,
But
like
just like
you want to hire me to DJ a private event, cool. But
right.
you want to be a promoter and you don't know, you can bring out your 10 friends and you want to be a promoter.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
Yeah. I had some people say the wildest things to me when I'm following up about, yo, did you do this? Did you invite this? Did you send out the email? Did you do that? I've had some people say some wild things that I'm just like, wow. Like I can't believe I just heard you say that,
Right.
Yeah. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to take shots, but
no, sorry. I get it. I've always been the one that the quick follow-ups I'm great with. You can get the little things. It's getting the 2-hour, 3-hour radio mix done on time.
Time, yeah.
Sitting there, that for me sometimes I procrastinate, but coordinating things, hitting the quick email here, the email blast there. That to me, that's easy. 10 minutes here, 15 minutes here, making that 15-minute phone call, handle that, no problem. But it's the 3-4 hours of work here, the 5 hours here in the studio. That could be hard,
Yeah. But and like right now it doesn't get any easier because now there are more layers. You have to promote here, promote there. You have to spend way more money. You better have your credit in check because you're using a credit card. But for me, I want to be hands-on with my kids. I want to be up every morning making them breakfast.
Right.
At 7 a.m. I want to be able to like contribute. Well, that's why I stopped doing late night gigs. You notice none of my gigs now none of my parties go to 4 a.m. But nightlife in general is not a super late night thing anymore, unless you're into techno or house.
I wish, between me and you, I wish some of your events went later because a lot of times I'm caught up and I can't make it.
I mean, I could go to midnight. I would do that. I'm not opposed to it, but I'm not going past that. It just doesn't, you look at nightlife now, you look at like the most successful parties nationally in the country, and none of them go past midnight on the hip hop, R&B, reggae sort of circuit. Like,
really?
No, like the Do-Over, like Everyday People, like R&B only.
It's all like
these parties.
12, right?
Yeah, it's like a daytime thing even. I'm like, it dawned on me like, well, if the younger folks don't go out late no more, and the older folks that have been riding with me since day one are now in their 40s and they don't want to go out late because they got responsibilities like I do.
Right.
And why the hell am I going to go till 4 in the goddamn morning anymore?
I go to 2 for certain events that I do.
That's cool. And in Philly, I go to 2 because that's the Philly scene. And that's what they're used to.
Right.
But if I could, and I knew that there was a chance for it to happen on this venue that I'm on, which is the Mashulu, this amazing old historic boat that's docked, I would go to 12 at the latest and be like, peace.
Yeah. For me, I have a lot of like hip hop insiders and well-known artists and producers, and they stay up late. Some of them have a little issue.
Right.
They're up late. So they start showing up at 10, 11 o'clock. 12
no, I know. And it's coincidentally that is part of the industry I've never ever catered to or shaped anything to satisfy them, because as much as I respect them and love what they've done for the culture and their artistic addition to everything, from an event standpoint, business event, they always get in free. They always want drink tickets. They're the first ones to say, "Oh, this party is now old. This feels old to me. I'm not coming no more." They're always the first to like check out. So it's like, all right, guys, you know what I mean? Like, it's not cool no more. For me,
I have way too many rappers and producers on my stuff. Not enough actual fans and regular people. And that's what you have. You have the average Joe, class people.
Love them. God bless them. I hope they all come, all of them. I hope if I had to choose, it's them. I don't charge them a lot of money. I keep it affordable, and they support me. And God bless them. I freedom. I've had Tracy Morgan come to hang out. Questlove used to come and hang out. Different rappers would just come and chill and come in, you know, and they were dope. And I would give the salute and play the music and give them all, and I love them. You know, I'm so happy.
Right.
But I can't. I don't want to. This party would have been long. Freedom would have been a done deal a long time ago if it was predicated on the celebrity of people showing up,
right,
or the connections of people showing up.
Right.
It would have been done. And this is not something I wanted to be a flash in the pan. I wanted to leave my mark, you know, and you know, so.
Right, and I salute you. You made it work. For me, you know, I last night I had a show with J-Electronica at Sony Hall.
Mm-hmm. I heard.
And
sold out.
Sold out. And there was a lot of industry insiders there, but there was like at least 500 real fans.
Who pay to support you.
More than that. It was like 800, 900 tickets sold.
Right. Well, here's the thing. Like, it's the same thing with DJs. DJs are the last motherfuckers that pay for the music. They're always out looking for something for free. I'm like, you know, if you don't pay the artist making the song, then that artist can't afford to make more songs for you.
Right.
$1.99, homie. $1.99.
I bought the J-Electronica vinyl that I brought to the venue and had them sign it.
Sometimes it's 99 cents and you're still looking for a freebie. Son, 99 cents.
I mean, I'm in record pools. I don't really have to pay for music, you know.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm in record pools too, but I'm paying for that because I pay to be a member. I pay per month.
I'm gonna put you on these two pools that I don't pay, and they just
don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Why? Yeah, right.
DM me. Yeah. Don't do
Free
it.
Record pools? No, not me. Okay.
No, I pay for all the music, and if I can't buy it, then if I can't, it's not available anywhere, then I'll rip it from YouTube. Right.
I've done that before.
Yeah. So, but only if I can't put the money in somebody's pocket, you know? Yeah. Real talk. Like I don't care if you're on Bandcamp or just as long as you're opening up the website, it's not going to give my computer freaking the COVID, then yeah.
For me, it's always the white labels that never came out officially that I have to rip off of YouTube. Like last night, I played the Capone Noriega joint with Tragedy and Nas, Calm Down.
Okay.
Music makes these thugs calm down. Music makes these thugs.
Oh, I think I remember that song, but I don't have it. Yeah.
It was only white labels. I played that. We were like, oh shit. Oh, I heard this in years.
Nice.
You know, it was fun, man. I mixed it up. You would have been proud. I played my classic 90s stuff, but I played like Kendrick and Joey Badass and
nice. Yo, not for nothing. There's some good new, like I listened to the Isaiah Rashad album, which I was kind of feeling, and the Vince Staples album, I was kind of feeling that too.
Oh yeah, no, there's always
good new stuff. Like even in the same vein of the stuff that I don't like, which is the 808 trap shit. I can't stand it. But sometimes the flow if you got a good MC who can really spice it up with the delivery and it gets funky sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
should have been there, man. It was beautiful. So what's in the future for you, man? What's going on?
So I'm gonna keep doing this freedom thing until I can't.
Hey, Red Alert's still rocking out. Why not?
Yeah.
You got what, 20 plus years on us?
Yeah, but I'm saying like it might be a time when I can't produce events anymore. It's just too much. Unless it's like, maybe I'll move into concerts where there's bigger stakes and bigger payoffs. So, but
if you need help,
in the future,
got staff.
We got to do something. In 2022, I want to do some more different brands. I want to do the house music brand that I was telling you about. Right. I started that a long time ago, but never really worked on it. My House, it's called. Mm-hmm. And I want to do a Yacht Rock night.
Well, and I think next night.
A Yacht Rock.
So rock night. Music on a yacht.
No, tell me you don't know what Yacht Rock is. Oh, Jay.
What's Yacht Rock?
Like Michael McDonald and Doobie Brothers and Steely Dan.
Yeah, I know what all that is.
That's Yacht Rock. So Yacht Rock is defined as by the person. by the person who invented the name, coined the name, Jay Reisner, yachtrock.com. It's smooth pop music from the late 70s and early 80s, heavily influenced by jazz and R&B, and crafted by the finest studio musicians in the world. So lots of Michael McDonald and Toto, Steely Dan, Al Jarreau even makes the cut. George Benson makes the cut. The Doobie Brothers, did I say that? It's just like, some Hall & Oates is kind of, just like really dope quality, soulful pop.
Right. So like, what was that Toto record?
Oh yeah,
Porgy,
which Eric Benet remixed or did a version of.
Right.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's a dope one. What a Fool Believes He Sees. Michael McDonald, man. I can't forget. I'm not in love anymore.
That's a joint.
All the joints that were like sampled.
What about the Patti LaBelle joint? On my own.
Oh, on my own.
But it's not really a happy record to dance to.
No, it's not. But I mean, you can still play it in a downtime. But that's her and Michael McDonald. I love that. I do.
So many times.
So when things get so stressful and you just imagine yourself sitting on a bay in a little boat, just listening to that kind of music and sipping like whatever, beer or something. It's just like the best. So actually, this coming Wednesday at last minute, I'm doing something at City Winery on the Hudson. So yeah, Wednesday from 6 to 10. It's going to be a wine pairing with the Yacht Rock. It's absolutely perfect for this Yacht Rock. Come get your grown self on. Come get your grown fix.
Okay.
Come on, son. Come on, son. About this life, this Yacht Rock life.
Yacht Rock life. I just found out what it was.
Yeah.
You just educated me.
Oh, there's a cult following. It's serious. Go online. Facebook's got like 20 to 30 different groups.
I need a Yacht Rock folder, please.
I'm not going to hand over the music, but I'll tell you where to go to get it.
Man, I'll give you some folder stuff.
And buy it. But so that's in 2022. I want to do a couple more party brands. Long term, I really want to have my own little bar in the corner of the city. A little bar like my spot, like Herbert's spot. Feels like your living room. Dope music, good cocktails, good people. Create a little community. I love bringing people together and making them happy. That's what I love to do. So
and food,
the bar. Yeah, a little bit of food, not necessarily. I mean, I love food, of course, but that's a whole other dimension added on top of running a bar that I don't know if I could handle. But it depends on who does it with me,
You know who I think does a good job? Fat Buddha.
Are they still open?
I believe so. Good Korean food, good parties.
Yeah, I never really went to parties there, but I know that both the DJ talent and the people that came were real quality.
Yeah.
Fifth Platoon was doing. Neil Armstrong was doing stuff there.
Right. Shout out to Neil.
Yeah.
I wish they had a little more dance floor though. They have that.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
So I was like, ugh. Yeah, man. So you got the Yacht Rock popping off.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So just to keep myself doing different stuff and keeping it different and spicy, and then I got a lot of private events. I got a bunch of weddings and corporate events. Hopefully, fingers crossed, if I don't jinx myself, there's a big one out in Napa where I'm gonna be playing with Nile Rodgers apparently, or in between it. But I might just have him sign my underwear or something. He probably won't. He'll probably say
bring
no.
Vinyl, man. Bring vinyl. Don't
fuck vinyl. Fuck vinyl.
Wow.
I said it. I said it. I mean, once you've been through carrying multiple cases of records, 75 pounds each, up 3-4 flights of stairs for 5 nights a week, you don't need to go back to vinyl after that.
But I'm not talking about doing that. I'm talking about having vinyl in the house and collecting vinyl and getting vinyl.
I sold all my vinyl to A1. Shouts to A1. I sold most of it to them, just because I needed more room in my space. I'm like, I don't need it.
Right.
I don't need it. I'm happy just like having my little Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 sound box here on my iMac and just pulling something up. Or even, no, honestly, not for nothing, like when I'm working or I'm folding laundry for the family. I know this sounds lame and this is not what people want to hear a DJ say, but I'm going to say it. I put on my little tiny little Alexa thing, you know, and relax. And I don't need you right now. Chill. You know, she lit up when I say Alexa. She lights up and it's all chill. So this little thing, and and the fact that the yacht rock that I play, or the 90s grunge, or the classic hip hop that I play on it, it sounds like so small, like it's coming from a transistor radio. That makes it even better. That makes it so pure to me. And I'm like sitting there folding clothes and folding underwear. And
I got Bluetooth.
You know, yes, that's what I love, man. I mean, music is a personal experience, you know, and all this other crap about what you're supposed to do and not supposed to do, they can all eat a bowl of fucking dicks. You know?
I like the challenge of DJing a gig where you have one bag of records.
Yeah.
And you got to bring it, and it's vinyl only.
Right.
I mean, I like the challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't care. I mean, vinyl is whatever. I mean,
I hear you.
I haven't done it in
a long time, you know.
Yeah. I don't try to educate anybody. I don't try to impress anybody. I don't try to like convince other people that I'm authentic. Like, I don't really need to. I just want people to have a good time.
You parties and do great events. You're a great DJ. You don't have anything to prove. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm also a DJ.
I know a lot of DJs that got rid of their vinyl. You're not the only one. A lot of
let's be real. We're DJs, so validity is something that we're unfortunately, you know, connected to in an umbilical way. Like we crave that validity. I mean, there's not a single DJ that doesn't DJ a party and need that validity. I mean, if you don't have it, you're not going to be DJing. You know,
nothing worthwhile anyway, right?
I mean, yeah, anyone that's trying to tell you they're too cool for school or your job is to educate, you don't need a dance floor, you don't fucking DJ very much. Because that's what I say to them, because really, or you're a celebrity and it doesn't matter. People ain't there for the music, they're just there to watch you.
Right.
Because the DJ's job is to entertain the people he or she is playing music for, period. I don't give a fuck how you do that. I don't care if you walk in there with like an iPhone, you put an iPhone from the auxiliary jack into the back of your mixer and you use one of those weird little DJ apps.
Right.
You can rock that shit. And then I guarantee you,
the different kinds of DJs are.
Whatever.
Doesn't
mean anything.
You have your underground hip hop or different kinds of, you know, radio shows that's more obscure, and they're educating you, and people want that.
And you could do that. You could do that with this device I'm talking about. It just all depends on who you're playing.
In the club, no.
Yes, you can.
In the club, you want to rock a party. I mean, you don't want to educate people in the club.
Right. Well, it's fun to tickle them, to be able to slip in. But when I slip in a record that people aren't as familiar with, it's not to like be like, you know, let me educate you. No, it's because I love this record, and if I can get them to like it, then it's an even more amazing night for me, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like to get you, you know what I mean? That's you know, but I don't, when I hook up and turn on the laptop and start my set, like, I don't give a fuck about how cool or how in the know or how underground or how true to the culture. I don't think about any of that. I just look at every single person walking in. How can I make that person happy? How can I help that person heal from the shittiest week that person has ever had in a long time?
Last night,
that's what I just want them to get wasted and fucking lose themselves on the dance floor and be all flush face afterwards, like totally red and just like, one of the greatest things that ever happened was there was a girl who just took her weave off. She was dancing so much, she put it on the stage. Then my boy Dave put it on his head and was dancing around with it the rest of the night. It was a little bit crazy. But to me, that was like, you know, or I have a picture of like high heels on the DJ booth. Like, if you can dance somebody out of that bouginess, you know, that's the dope shit. That's dope shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I do this, just to make people happy, you know?
I agree, man.
Yes.
It's not about the clout. It's more about
No,
rocking the party, keeping the people happy.
no. It is not a selfish
No, it's not an
job.
ego thing.
The best DJs are not selfish. They're not.
Yeah.
There are some DJs that are really dope, but still they put on the front like it's all like I'm just cool. I'm just gonna play my thing. That's what I do. But deep down inside, they got one eye on the crowd,
Right.
and they're looking. And if they're not connecting, it
Yeah,
hurts. It hurts. I remember this DJ that we had at Freedom. Dope. I've listened to him a zillion times. Dope. You know, the second time he played the party, he goes, enough or nothing. Your crowd is definitely changing, man. And I knew what he was going through. He didn't connect.
Right.
And I knew it. He was throwing out
You gotta
reasons.
read the crowd. You know, look at.
But it's okay. It happens. Like we all have moments where we don't connect.
Yeah, I shouldn't have played Big Pimpin' last night. Everybody told me that.
Okay. I mean, then you know that. So what? Okay. But I'm saying it happens to all of us. Like I've done parties where I'm like, this is the last place I should be right now. They hate me and I fucking hate them. I can't wait to be done this gig. You know, and then okay, and then you don't want to DJ ever again, and then a week later you get another gig and you rock it. And you're like, I love this thing, man. Yeah. You know, so it just happens. We all fuck up, and the night is the best sets include the glorious mishaps. It's part of and that's what makes the set even better. Like you'll notice that absolutely flawlessly blended and perfect sets don't get you. It's like why old homes are so attractive to us, because you see the years and you see the weaknesses and you see the cracks in the foundation.
Right.
And it feels real, like, you know, and then versus this like perfectly modern house where everything is perfect. You're just kind of like, it's just like a blank slate. It's beautiful, but it's like, it's not pulling you in. Like you gotta hear DJs who use, you know, it's why a lot of house music DJs are trash to me, because it's just like, it doesn't feel real at all, you know, like they're just using Ableton and lining songs up, and they're just using auto sync and whatever. Not to say that there's anything wrong with that, not to say that I might not do that one day myself, but there's something about things being a little bit off that make all the difference. Like even in singing and in songs, there's this guy, Rick Beato or something online who explains that hearing the human quality of music is extremely important. The pitching that might be a little bit off, the things that aren't tuned so perfectly, it's an important part of the song.
Right. I think
Mary J. Blige is, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Wu-Tang had that aesthetic as far as the beat being a little off, being a little grungy.
Right. Mary J. Blige.
Yeah.
There's sometimes where she screws up her pitch. And you fucking love her and adore her for it. You know? You adore her.
Little Fame from MOP talks about having the swing in records. You don't want the drums to be right on the one, you know, you want it to be a little off, and you know, the verse be a little off, the hook be a little off. It's part of that swing. You got to have that swing to it. And he'll have me change stuff in the studio, and he really stresses that. Like, nah, it's too perfect. I don't like it, bro. Yeah, you got to move it.
Don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing, right?
Right.
So that's just my opinion of it. And when my book comes out, when it does, man, I don't want to jinx myself, because I wrote a book over the pandemic about DJing. It is the very last book you would ever expect to read about DJing. It is, there's nothing cool. There's nothing dope. It's soft. It's tender. It's embarrassing. It's pathetic.
Oh.
It's like, it's like lame almost, you know, but it's my life. It's my life.
It's now or never. Wanna live. You see, got me rocking out. I'm turning to Bon Jovi right here, man. I gotta relax. Okay. Woosah. Speaking of Woosah, I heard you. You know, I'm also into martial arts. I heard you did
Yes.
a little kung fu in your day.
I did. Shifu Henry Lung, one of the original Wing Chun guys, had a place on Grand Street. It was a basement. And I went down there. A guy that I had worked for on his parties told me about it and said, come through. And his name was Kevin. Big up to Kevin Willen. Sorry, I'm burping. It's disgusting. Right. Big up to Kevin Willinson. He's introduced me to this situation. And we was in Chinatown on Grand Street and went down. And Sifu Henry was like 78 years old. And every time I went there, he had a big pot of turtle soup. He had turtle soup every day. And his young wife, who was in her 20s, was coming by with their kid that they just had. So he was still, pushing out the baby. He was still producing.
Right.
And we did horse dance, and we did the I forget the name of it, but all just for hours and hours. And I have a really sick kung fu collection on tape.
Okay.
VHS tape, really sick one. My favorite kung fu movie of all time is Shaolin Temple 2 with Jet Li. There was a series where he was a kid, and there was 3 of them. Shaolin Temple,
right, in the 80s. Right, yep.
And for me, it was dope
work, yeah,
because it segued between the highly silly choreograph from the Run Run Shaw stuff.
Right.
It was a segue between that and the modern era of very gymnastic and realistic fighting.
Yen Wu Ping's choreography.
It was right in the middle there, and it was and you really felt it. So I have a bunch of those on tape anyway. So you quickly realize, though, when you study martial arts, that is the furthest thing from one of those movies. It's a lot of grunt hours. I mean, a lot of those actors obviously have the training, but it's just a lot of stuff like that. And Wing Chun, you don't really spar because it's you're not supposed to.
Like sticky hands.
You do sticky hands,
right.
And stuff like that, and but you're not supposed to spar because you're not, if you.
No, I don't know. I sparred some Wing Chun guys. They give me
okay. Some Wing Chun maybe do fine, but Henry didn't.
But they were like Chinese street gang kids who also study Wing Chun.
Okay.
And I'd spar with them, and then we'd go out and beat people up. Good time.
Okay. That's what's up.
Right.
So go up and just stab somebody, good times.
Yeah, good times. Good
stuff. So anyway, I love that. And when I was a kid, I did a lot of karate, Goju Ryu karate in South Jersey, Master Joe Arteezy.
Okay.
Broke the board and this and that, and fought a little bit. So it was off and on for most of my life.
One board?
Just one, yeah.
Just one?
Well, my favorite board break was the one where I held it in for Henry Lung, Shifu. And I just stood there and I was just like, literally just like this. Like, there wasn't like a pow or like a pow. It's like this. And I went, I just snapped this shit. And I had been doing, for his class, you did push-ups on a 4x4, but you did them on your pinky because this is the hardest part of your punch. And if you make a fist right now, the hardest part of your fist is this right here. So Wing Chun, he was all about it's all about snapping that part of your fist into someone's face. Not here. Karate is here.
Right. Karate is
Wing Chun is right. Wing
boxing
Chun
also is the first 2 knuckles.
Chinese boxing, Wing Chun, Hong Kong is down here. This part of your fist, so you would snap that. And I know Bruce Lee then decided, well, let's use all of the knuckles, and that's what he did. But Jeet Kune Do. But I held this board like this and just focused, just snapped it. Literally, it was like 6 inches from the board. A pow! It was like, I was like, oh. That was like the best moment. And then I think I quit the next day.
Oh.
No, but no, I needed Dita Jiao after that for sure.
I got some in the crib.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was important after those. And when you're rubbing and doing the sticky hands all day, and you're just like, and you're just rubbing that forearm, and you're not supposed to because you're supposed to be soft. But it's like you got these big dudes. You're like, how can I be soft with all this weight? And the idea is that the pressure pushes you down, but then you snap. But anyway, so you're rubbing your forearms and wrists, and you're just putting deep gel all the day. So, but yeah, that didn't last.
Yeah, got the minty one, or
No, this was like he made the shit.
Okay.
He made the shit. He
Right,
just like
right.
gave it to you, you know. Anyway, so that was my martial arts. Now the kids take Kenshikai karate up here in Riverdale.
Okay.
Shihan Paul, who's now, what's the name above Shihan? Like the ultimate.
There's Shihan, you have Renshi, Hanshi.
He's been in the
Uh,
game for a long time, and he recently made the organization Kenshikai made him something higher than Shihan.
it could be Shi or Hanshi.
Okay. So the kids go to him. My son goes to him
Okay.
now. Yeah.
Nice.
Really. Oh, this guy is he's awesome. He's so awesome. He's such a great guy. Very just calm. You know, I've met some masters that, you know, aren't maybe physically, but not mentally. I mean, this guy is just
Right.
his energy and his demeanor is just so you talk to him and you feel so relaxed,
Mm.
you know. So he's
You don't train him at all yourself?
huh?
You don't train with him at all yourself? Just
No, I don't really have time. I go to the gym.
Okay.
I don't really have time.
I hear you.
Gotta work on these man boobs.
I like that you have both. You know, both your kids are in karate.
No, my eldest was, and then she didn't continue. She wasn't a big fan of it, and now my son is, and he's totally fine, loves it.
Right.
He broke a board, and he showed me his board. He was like, yeah, he was like crying one time because he didn't break the board, and then he broke it. And he was like, Dad, look, and he put like his signature and his fist on it. Got his little key. He's a great little kid.
Yeah, yeah. Martial arts is great for the kids. It builds discipline and confidence, leadership skills.
Yeah.
For me, also the self-defense aspect is important. So I try to push people to get involved, and you know, especially our young ladies out here in this crazy world.
Yeah.
Yeah, my goddaughter did it for a couple months, and she's like, I'm good.
Yeah, it's okay. You know, everyone has their own path. You know. You don't want them to be so hard on themselves. They're like, oh, I don't feel bad about it. Like either you do or you don't. But you know, stay active.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
All right. Off on tangents. Please give us your Instagram. I'll put up on the screen. But tell them.
Awesome. At Herbert Holler, HerbertHoller. That's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all this stuff. Right. I'm always around. Email me, Herbert@herbertholler.com. Always there. The website is www.herbertholler.com. And Freedom Party is the name of the longest running. Might be the longest running hip hop party in history, period. I don't know because I don't know anybody overseas. And I'm betting Amsterdam has something that's been going forever. Yeah. Or Japan even. But it's the longest running old school dance party in this country, certainly in this city. Anyway, it's called the Freedom Party. We do it in New York City and Philadelphia. freedompartyworldwide.com, or just hit me up and I'll take care of you. A friend of J-Ronin's is a friend of mine.
Thank you, sir.
You don't have to pay $20, you pay 10. No, I'm just kidding. You know, so
support. My friends should pay the 20. Support. God damn it.
That's right.
I have one more question for you.
Okay.
How the hell did you come up with the name Herbert Holler?
So I was originally 24K.
Okay.
And I started doing this email blog. And around the same time I did the email blog, I had going to house parties in Brooklyn with some Hunter kids, Hunter College, and they kept calling me a Herb. You a Herb. And then I that was just, I knew what it meant. And I'm like, okay, I'm a clowny dude, it's fine. I'm geeky. That's cool. And then Seth Dog Zaplin, who was at the Source magazine at the time, who I wrote a little bit for and edited for, was a dope hip hop and snowboarding and skateboarding magazine. The Source, shout out to Jonathan and all of them and Craig and the whole crew. That was a crazy good time. Seth goes, one night he was like, one night they were calling me a Herb, and Seth was like drunk or high. He was like, it's Herbert. He's a special kind of Herb. It's Herbert. So every time he came into the crib where me and Graham were living, he was like, "What's going on, Herbert?" And then he saw me emailing. I was one of the first DJs to do an email blog. As far as I've been told, it was G Brown was another DJ that was doing it at the time. This was 2000. Piece of G Brown. I think he's in Miami or Vegas or something. And every time Seth would come in, "Oh, Herbert, you hollering at them?" He's like, "That's what you need to call your email." Oh no, he said that, and I said, "Oh, I got to call my email the Herbert Holler because I'm hollering at people about Herbert." And so he came up with the DJ name, and I came up with the blog name, and the rest is history. Herbert Holler. And it was originally just DJ Herbert, like I was calling myself that, but then Matthew Herbert's camp emailed me. Matthew Herbert is a very well-known electronic producer back in, he still does. And they're like, sent me this whole long email about, you should not do this. Like, okay, Herbert Holler. There it is. Well, I understand. You don't want people jacking your stuff.
Right. I mean, I feel like no one should have Ronin in their name. No DJ Ronins, except for me. There's a couple of bootleg ones, but it can be only one.
Yeah, true. That is true. So yeah, man, that's it. That's the story. And I'm still standing after a lot of projectile missiles coming my way.
Yeah. But you know, success is the best revenge. I keep saying that.
Hard work. You just work hard. You just don't say, close your mouth and work. And then one day, all the truth will come to the bubble up to the surface, and they'll be like, nobody's going to apologize to you, Jay. No one's one thing to say, I shouldn't have done that.
People have apologized to me though.
Okay.
Without me being, hard on them or anything.
Right. They just come and say sorry.
You were like, you were a good guy, man. I'm sorry. Like,
okay, well, maybe it hasn't been long enough. Maybe it hasn't been long enough yet for me. So maybe that'll happen eventually. But here's to not caring about that. You got to be right by you, your God, and your inner circle, family, friends, and acquaintance and loved ones. Right. That's who we because today we're privy to everybody's opinion. We put too much effort into trying to prove our truth to everyone.
Right.
No, you're wrong and I'm right. And I'm guilty of that too. But it doesn't matter. Your truth and your loved one's truth and your God's truth is the truth, period. That's it.
There you go.
The rest is just fuck shit.
And that's a good closer. On that note, thank you for coming through, bro. I'll see you soon. People with dance.
Guns, Popeyes.
And enjoy your day on the beach.
Jewish Popeyes. I'm about to go get myself a coconut with rum. Jewish Popeye style. Get some antacid. Before you have the rum, you have the antacid because you get acid reflux from rum.
I don't have that problem, but yeah.
Play on, player.
All right. Thank you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you coming by.
Appreciate you having me. It's very nice. I'm very excited to work with you on future stuff. Let's get it.
Yeah, man.